Hi Crafty friend, it's Justine. I hope you're doing well. Today I'm going to show you 2 cards with the new stitching die, and this is the club stitching die for November. It's called Grand Stitched Blooms. It is grand, it is stitched, and it is a bloom, so I think the name suits this one well. To just start off, I will put together the pink one and then I will work on the red flower card. This one I will be doing some demoing on stitching, so if you're just here for the inspiration of colors, you can stick around for the beginning, and if you're interested in seeing the how-to part, you can stick around all the way to the end and see me stitch. To start off, I'm going to glue on the back part of my flower. Now, I saw some people doing the flower like this, but I kind of like having the green in the background. I don't know, to me that just looks a little bit better with my colors that I have going on here, but maybe with some other colors that would be fine. Then I'm going to put this piece on. To stitch this, I just went in the center big holes and up through the outside ones. If you can kind of check that out there, and I'll just put that right on top. And then we have a little piece that goes on the front, and this one was stitched. This is kind of a fan stitch going in the center hole and up through those outside ones again. And there we have it, our flower. And then for the leaves, we have 2 leaves down here. There are 2 pieces to the leaf dies. There's kind of a skinny leaf that's on this side, and then there's this one that goes on this side. There's 2 different green pieces for the flowers. So there's a flower that leans to the left and one that leans to the right. So this one is a left leaner, and my red one leans to, oh no, I did use the same one. They're both leaning to the left. But if you prefer it going the other direction, you can switch it up. Ooh. So there is my flower. So I will just adhere on all of my layers, and you might have checked out this beautiful embossing folder. This is the 3D embossing folder of the month for November. It is gorgeous. Look at all of those flowers that we have on there. I just love it. So I put it on with white paper. I think that is kind of the test to see if I like an embossing folder, as if it looks good on white paper with no coloring, no ink blending, just white paper. If I like it with white paper, it's gonna look good with everything. And the 3D embossing folders really are my favorite style of embossing folders, just for all the dimension. A lot of people say they can't get them to work with their platinum. I will say there is a perfect little sandwich you can do. You're going to use the base platform, then you're going to have your embossing folder with your paper in it, and then platform D. And you can remember that because 3D embossing folders need platform D, and that's going to give you a perfect impression, just so you know. But look how pretty that is. Oh, stunning. And I didn't even do the big stitching on the top of this one. I just let the paper do the work for me, which is my favorite way to make cards. My flower is going to go right there. I'll just give it a light press. And then look at my fun sentiment. This is from the Glimmer Club. If you haven't checked that out, make sure you do. I will have a whole video on this. If you know me, you know that I like glimmer once, cut once style of glimmer plates, and this is one of those. So it's a good one, and it has all sorts of sentiments in it, perfect for every occasion that you could think of. So this one I chose Thanks a Million, and I think that it is very sweet with my flower. Hey, stand where you need to be. And on the foil for this one, I used the gold matte foil. I am going to finish this card up at the end with some bling, so if you're interested in sticking around, you can. By the way, I have my little thread catcher here. I will be putting these on my Etsy shop soon. My mom made a few of them, so she sewed them. And if you're interested in picking those up, you can. I don't think she's going to make a whole bunch, but the ones that did not sell at the craft fair last weekend, we're going to put up on our Etsy shop. And we're also putting up these pouches. This one I'm going to send to a friend. I won't say who, but this one is going to a friend. It's made with Tula Pink fabric. If you're a quilter, you probably know who Tula Pink is, but they're super fun. It's a really nice little box size folder with a zipper, and it's just really cute. And then my mom did put some fun fabric in the inside. So I love handmade gifts, and I thought it would be fun to share the love with some of my crafty friends. So this one's going to a friend. I'll just leave it at that for now to not spoil the surprise. Okie dokie. Let's get into the stitching of the leaves. So you can see on this pink one, I went from the outside in and did the star stitch going from into one. But if you can see on this one, I am going to stitch around the leaf as well. So we're going to go ahead and start that off. Don't mind my long nails. I know they're super long. This is probably the longest my nails have ever been, and such is life. Going on Friday to get them trimmed down. They are my real nails, yes. I have gel over them, and yeah, they're pretty grown out, and it is time, but yeah, they're super long. Anyway, I'm going to start by going up the outside and down the center, and just make my way around the leaf first and do what I like to call the star stitch or the firework stitch. So it just goes in one and out the outside. Just going around. And this is pretty quick. You just kind of whip it around, and all of a sudden you get a leaf. I had such a fun time this week with my kindergartners. We've been working on fine motor skills, so that has been really fun, challenging for some. They have kind of to work through the frustration a little bit. Some of them are pretty quick with it, but I always tell them to just try their best, and then that we can do hard things. And really, those two sentences give them the little boost to persevere and keep trying. But I have these little hand-eye coordination toys in my classroom that are it's basically a stitching project that they work on. So it's a wood block of little animals or little airplanes, and then the stitching part is a shoelace, and they will stitch with that, and then that kind of gets them ready. After they do that a few times, it gets them ready for our lamb project. So we learned about the letter L, and they made lambs, and we had an issue with the cotton ball, so we won't get into that. But yeah, it was fun to watch them stitch. Now I cut my string because I got distracted, but I am going to stitch around the outside, so I am just going to hide my tail real quick in the back here, and then I'm going to do a back stitch. A back stitch around the leaf, and this will just outline the leaf so it will have kind of a finished look to it. I like it both ways, like this and like this. It just kind of depends on my mood of what I end up doing, but I wanted to show you all just a different way to do this. And the flower is going to look different than, and my red flower is going to look different than my pink one because of my stitching as well. So you'll see that in just a minute. But if I can remember, I will put a picture on the screen of my kindergartners' final projects. They made narwhals for the letter N, and that was the stitching. I think I said before the lamb, but the lamb was the cotton balls. The narwhal is the stitching. So they kind of look like bluebirds, but we just went with it, and they did have a good time doing that, and they worked on their fine motor skills. So it was a win-win-win. Plus they also worked on their coloring with a crayon, and we use paper plates all the time for our crafts because it's a thicker paper and it holds up to the glue and all sorts of craziness that goes on in kindergarten. Anyway, I'll just stick my little thread in my thread catcher and we'll move on to red. That's weird. I never knew that these scissors were magnetic. What? That is bizarre. Okay, I guess the more you know. Oh, and I do have my little stitcher magnet. This is called a needle minder. This is from Spellbinders. I will put it on my shirt. I'll show you kind of what it looks like here. You can see it there. I'll just pull it. It's magnetized there, so when I'm stitching, I can go ahead and stick my needle right to that magnet and I won't lose it, which is always a good thing because no one needs to step on needles, especially not in a craft room. All right, I'll get my thread ready. Oh, I didn't mention before, I'm a little scatterbrained right now, but I stitch with 3 threads. So I'm going to go ahead and separate that here. I basically just get the 3, it makes that Y shape right there, and then you just kind of help it untwist like that. And it might not, but it might not. You just kind of help it along. Not too complicated. And that's for another day. And I'll thread my needle. Yes, I have this needle threader. I have the one from DMC. I actually was given 2 of them. So I am giving one away on my Facebook group. But the winner has not contacted me. So I'm not sure what's up with that. I'm going to try messaging her again. And if she does not contact me, I'm going to put it up on my channel again for another giveaway. And I think I am going to use my needle threader this time, just because I'm not getting it in. Barely getting into the needle threader, good grief. Alrighty, there we go. Now for the petals, there are big petals and little petals. So if you are going to do this red flower like I am, we're going to need 2 small petals and 3 big ones. So I did 4 of them already, and I'll do 1 more with you here on camera. Some of these didn't get punched out. There we go. Okay, I'll just start on the one side here and just work my way to the left. I'm just going to hold the tail on this one and hope for the best. And then on these flower petals, you could go ahead and do the back stitching like I did here on the leaves, but I think I'm going to leave the flower look a little more delicate and have the pink one be a little different and have the leaves be like the beefier areas. Seems that I've lost the piece for my other flower, so anyway, that is all the stitching. This one's pretty simple this month, so it's a good one to start with if you're a beginner stitcher. But if you have any questions, please let me know in the comments, and I would love to help you with your stitching questions. And I also have a whole playlist on my channel called Stitching on Cards, where I have tons of inspiration for you. So if you're looking for inspiration for stitching or colors or techniques or tips and tricks, please check out that channel, or that playlist, and you should be getting some help there. This embossing folder is the regular embossing folder of the month from Spellbinders for November. This one is gorgeous as well. Again, here it is on white, and I'm loving it, so I know it's a good one. I'm going to trim down my card base. This one seems to be just a hair too long for my card panel. Oof, my Midwestern accent is coming out. My card panel, you know. Such is life. All right. I don't think, well, there maybe is a right and a wrong way. I think this is the having these little branches go up is the right way. We'll just go with that. And then I wanted to pull out a scrap of this beautiful glimmered vellum. This is vellum from the Serenade of Autumn card kit. And I just could not let it go into my hoard of a craft room. So I decided let's use it today on this card and have a little bit of a pretty little background for my flower. So for this vellum, I'm going to use my liquid glue. I don't know how this is going to turn out. I haven't used Barely Art liquid glue on vellum before. It could be wonderful. It could be a mistake. So you're going to just find out with me, I guess. This will dry clear. I do know that. So we'll see. I guess we really won't know until I take product pictures in 2 days. But I'll update you at the end of the video. I'll post a picture and let you know how the vellum looks. But just looking at it now, I don't see wiggle marks from the glue. So I think things are looking pretty good. All right, now for the flower. We'll put the green spot in the front on this one just to keep it interesting and fun. I know on the last card I had the other pieces, but we'll just go with it. I'll start with the leaves. And just glue those right on. I hope you're doing really well, crafty friend. I have been kind of playing catch up with filming and just life in general, so I haven't been as active as I have wanted to be, but it's a fun thing to do, to interact with you, especially on my Facebook group, Spellbinders Maker Group, and also on the BetterPress Babes, which I co-run with Melanie Stamps, also known as Melanie Smith. She's my very best crafty friend, and I just love interacting with you all, and I love that there's these little communities of card makers. We can share ideas, and it's just been such a pleasure in the last couple years, growing things and starting things out and just getting to know several of you. It's been a pleasure. So thanks for being here, and thanks for watching. Even the end of the videos, I know sometimes people skip through, which is just fine. That's your prerogative, but I know that there's a couple of you that watch everything, and I feel like we'd be best friends in real life because if you can handle all my kookiness, you're my friend. Okay, 2 more leaves left. I am kind of tucking the pointy part of the petal under this green and just pretending like that is the flower, and we're growing. Okay, again, I'm pulling out a Glimmered Sentiment from this month's Glimmer Club, and this one is So Happy for You. So I think that this would be good for a birthday or for like a congratulations kind of card, something special, because a stitch card should be for someone special doing something special. I think I want to put something here just for fun. I know that they have this die cut piece. I think I'm going to quick die cut it and maybe do it with the vellum. That would be kind of fun. Let's do it. I'm going to grab my little sidekick. I love my sidekick. It's one of my favorite tools. And the little cutting plates, and we're just going to use this vellum because instead of it being garbage, we're going to turn it into art. So squeaky. There we go. Now I can glue this on, and And we'll have a little fun piece here. Maybe I could glue it under there. That would be kind of neat. Let's do that. I'm going to just stick a teeny bit of glue on the edge here, and that will catch underneath the green. Whoa, that was too much glue. Better. Oh, that is just darling. All right, now we need some bling, because I love a blingy card. There's never enough bling and glimmer on cards. So let's grab my bling basket and see what we can find. I think because the sentiments are gold, I kind of want to go toward the warm side. I do have one little thing of all gold. I think that's what we'll use. These are for nail art, but I use them for card making. If you've been on my channel, you know the drill. Let's see. I think I'm going to use these that are kind of little circles. I'm going to use the gold on this one, and I think I'll pull out some pink on this one. Oh boy, that's a lot. I'm not going to use all of them, don't worry. But I will use several. Let's put them on the flower in between the punch out pieces on the edge. I am using my new gem picker from Trinity Stamps. I was just on Stamp Wars last month for Stamp Wars number 33. I had a blast, and this was given to me as part of the materials for our war, if you will. It was so fun, and I really just loved the whole thing. I had a great time. I made some really pretty cards. So if you're interested in watching that, just search on YouTube Stamp Wars number 33, and that will pop right up for you, and you can watch the replay. It's a live kind of crafty competition thing, and it's just wonderful. So I hope that you enjoy that. I'm going to add a little bit of gold to this part, and then I'll move on to the pink. As I was saying, I'm going to go with a chunkier gem on the pink card and just add a little rhinestone almost to the tip, and we'll put them on the middle sections. And I think I'm going to use a smaller gem on the other areas. All right, I'm loving the bling. It is so blinged out now that it might just be perfect. Anyway, I do have a little bit of glue smushing, but don't we all? There's a look at my finished cards. I hope you've liked these. Let me know which one's your favorite. Do you like pinky or red? I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day, and I wish for you endless hours of uninterrupted crafty time. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.